video, we're going to talk about energy transformation, and most importantly, why cells actually need energy. Cells require energy for chemical reactions to occur. Without a continuous supply of energy, life processes will stop. Now, this source of energy depends on the type of organism. In autotrophs like plants, energy comes from light. In heterotrophs like humans, energy comes from chemical energy stored in food. Let's start with photosynthesis, which occurs in plant cells. Photosynthesis is the process where plants use light energy to convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose and oxygen. So essentially, plants are taking in simple inorganic molecules and converting them into energy-rich organic molecules, like glucose. This process requires light and is also influenced by factors like temperature and carbon dioxide concentration. Now let's talk about something really important, ATP. ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate, and this is the main energy carrier in cells. Think of ATP like a rechargeable battery. ATP has 3 phosphates, and when energy is needed, 1 phosphate is removed. This converts ATP into ADP. Because ADP has 2 phosphates, it stands for adenosine diphosphate, and this process releases energy. Then energy from respiration is used to convert the ADP back into ATP by adding the phosphate back. So this cycle, ATP to ADP and back again, allows cells to continuously store and reuse energy. Now let's look at how cells produce this ATP, through cellular respiration. In aerobic respiration, cells use glucose and oxygen to produce carbon dioxide, water, and ATP. This process mainly occurs in mitochondria, which is why it's often called as the powerhouse of the cell. There are 3 main stages: glycolysis, the Krebs cycle, and the electron transport chain. We're not going to go into all the details, but just understand that these stages work together to convert energy stored in glucose into usable ATP. Now, what happens if there's no oxygen? Some organisms like certain bacteria and yeast carry out fermentation instead. This is an anaerobic process, meaning it does not require oxygen. In fermentation, glucose is broken down to produce products like ethanol or lactic acid, along with a smaller amount of energy. For example, yeast use fermentation in processes like bread making and alcohol production. Now let's quickly test your understanding. So this question, explain the role of ATP in cells. Pause the video and have a think. Alright, now let's go through it. ATP acts as the cell's main energy carrier. It stores energy in its phosphate bonds, and when 1 phosphate is removed, energy is released for cellular processes. ATP is then reformed to form ADP and phosphate, allowing energy to be reused continuously. So the key idea is ATP stores and releases energy for cellular activities. So overall, energy transformation is essential for life, allowing cells to convert energy from different sources into ATP, which powers all cellular processes. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up this playlist. I really hoped it helped and made things a bit clearer. And if it did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.